internally.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome to my Sunday morning's live stream. Our local time is 6:28 a.m. Sunday morning, which is the UK time. And once again, I'm with my subscribers lesson. Hello, Said. Welcome. Hello, Williams. Welcome. So, welcome to all the people who are watching silently, who are not able to make any comments because Hallo has the policy to block your comments. But the people who can come and make comments are the people who has got these sprouts, the two green leaves beside their names. And also, you may have the opportunity to subscribe to the free trial lessons, which has been offered by the Hallo for every class. That's very easy. Visit my profile and click on the free trial lesson, and you don't have to pay any money at all. But if you think that after the two classes these lessons are really beneficial, helpful, possibly you might consider to subscribe with the money. Remember that you're paying money to Hallo, not to any teacher directly. This is how it works here. And as you might be aware, this is like an ongoing class, and every week I see many new students, many new subscribers who come on a trial basis to take the opportunity. So guys, welcome, and let's see what we can learn today together. Hello Sammy, welcome. Okay, I believe that we started writing skill. So I'm going to show you the pace for the writing. Hello Vipin, welcome. I've invited you, Vipin. If you're free, join me. Or join me if you're free. Okay, if we remember that I started describing the writing part of IELTS exam, academic part. So in IELTS exam, in the writing part, there are two tasks. Task one, which is 150 words in 20 minutes. And the mark wise, you'll get 30% marks of the whole exam, which is 9. And task 2, 250 words, and you have to write in 40 minutes. And it carries 70% marks of the total mark, and both of them together 100% mark, which is 9. Okay, so we are going to discuss today task 1, academic task 1. How we can write academic task 1 and get better marks. In academic task 1, the questions are based on uh, either pie chart or table or maybe map or process diagram or bar chart, line graph, line chart, pie and bar chart. And I believe that I need to show you this video how you can get good marks on this section. And this video is from the British Council UK, where they have demonstrated the insights of different information to which anyone can get better marks in writing. Disclaimer: in order to get good marks in IELTS exam, you must have kind of experience. Okay, so share the writing task 1, tips and advice. So welcome all the new users who are watching for the first time. You are more than welcome to subscribe to my free classes or lessons. Let me show you the video first.
Meet Yo Ching. He is preparing for the IELTS writing test. He knows the basic requirements, but has taken the IELTS writing test before and not achieved the score he wanted. He realizes he has been doing some things in IELTS writing task 1 that don't work. Yo Ching reflects on his study process. In the past, he has tried to describe every number on charts and graphs. He realizes he should have identified 2 to 3 main and significant points in each diagram and described these. He has also copied words from the exam question or from the titles of illustrations. This resulted in lower marks. In addition, he has used too many linking words or phrases just because he knows them. He realizes he needs a new plan for success in IELTS writing task 1. Yo Ching looks in on his friend Kai Sheng to find out how she has been successful. First, Kai Sheng reads the instructions carefully to understand what is required to fully complete the question. It is dangerous to rush answers before understanding the task first, so Kai Sheng takes her time doing this. Yo Ching watches as Kai Sheng looks at the information and begins reflecting on what she sees. First, she paraphrases the key words using different words. So for this question, she writes this. It is important to understand the information depicted, so Kai Sheng analyzes what she sees. Then she looks for the most significant trends in the diagram. She writes an overview of the information presented, telling Yo Ching that this is one of the keys for her high score. This can be included in either the introduction or conclusion, and will usually be a couple of sentences. After noticing points to be highlighted, she thinks about how she would describe them. She considers the grammatical tenses that are relevant. As this graph covers years in the past tense grammar is appropriate to talk about the information. As the graph also has future predictions, she will use future aspects in her writing too. Kai Sheng makes a few notes, planning and organizing her thoughts to arrange her paragraphs effectively before she begins to write her summary. As she continues to write, she separates her paragraphs clearly and uses themes for each paragraph. This allows her to explain her ideas fully. She uses a variety of verbs and adjectives when describing the information in order to show a range of vocabulary. One of her favorite tools is to make notes on a line showing a variety of words to use to describe degrees of change for her essay. Yo-Ching has learned a lot by watching Kai-Sheng's process. Yo-Ching practices this process many times for himself. Now Yo-Ching finds himself ready to take the IELTS exam again, this time with confidence in a good process. He has also taken time to watch the British Council's other IELTS writing videos. He retakes the IELTS test and achieves his target score. If you follow the do's and don'ts for the IELTS Task 1 writing, you can increase your chance of a higher score, just like Yo-Ching. The world speaks IELTS.
Okay, guys, that was the tips and advice for the writing task 1 from the British Council. And they have highlighted quite a few things which are very important for you if you are an IELTS candidate. We're going to analyze those points in a moment. So in writing part, the first and foremost important matter is to understand the topic and paraphrase it in the introduction part. So if you remember in task 1, these are the most common topics that you get during the exam time. And the marking criteria for the task 1 is task response 25%, coherence and cohesions 25%, lexical resources 25%, grammatical range and accuracy 25%. And bear in mind that all these 4 features carry the equal marks of 25%, but overall task 1 carries only 30% of the whole marking system. So I'll suggest learners to start with task 2, which carries 70% mark itself. Okay, so when you have completed task 2, then you come to task 1, and task 1 is more or less in academic same but different graphs, and we're going to give some practical demonstration in a moment, and we'll see how we write. So these are the writing tips we explained many times, but remember, in all the writing part, these 3 part of the writing are more important. These 3 parts are important, like introduction, first one, introduce the topic, prompt appropriately, lead on to the body paragraphs. Clearly, do not waste time polishing your introductions. Body paragraph, which is maybe 1 or 2 individual paragraph, or depending on the topic, it could be three or four. But it's better to use into one and two because in IELTS exam there are word limits and there is also time limit. These paragraphs will help you break your ideas down in a clear manner. You need to elaborate upon your ideas with relevant sound examples. It's generally good to stick to one idea per paragraph. Remember, you need to transition. You need to have transition. Basically, it should be transition from one paragraph to the other in a logical, seamless manner. Make sure they are connected properly and sensibly. Okay. The last part is conclusion.
internally, conclusion,
Conclusion. The final part of something. So bear in mind that conclusion means when you are giving your last part, when you are explaining the last part. So it's a formal English conclusion. Sometimes some people also use this word finally.
finally,
Finally, okay, the finally conclusion. A solid conclusion can take you a long way. It's particularly vital for task 2. Though in task 1 you may add the conclusion, but because the part 1 depends on data and fact and all these important relevant information, many teachers say that you can't write conclusion in task 1. However, however, there may be an opportunity to write conclusion in task 1. So round up your points and back whatever you have expressed in the body paragraph. Go back to the prompt and solidify your answer. So if you remember, the foremost part of the writing task is read the questions carefully and understand them. Most of the times the confusion arrives when you don't read it well, or maybe after reading you didn't get the question time. So it's not only reading the questions but also understanding them well, appropriately and logically, so that you can answer them. Okay, and in order to write well, uh, guys, actually I should show you the explanation later. What are the things needed? Number one, it says lexical resource. What exactly it means in writing? In writing, it means you have to use the appropriate form of word, antonyms, synonyms, phrasal verbs, group verbs, and phrases. Bear in mind, we do not use any idioms in the writing section. We don't say like, hey, what's up? Or I'm under the weather in writing. No. This could be a slang like what's up, wanna, and also like I'm under the weather, over the moon. These are like idioms, and we don't use it in IELTS. The writing part. So you've got to be careful about that. So personalize, stick to the formal language. Yes, formal language. So in writing part of IELTS academic, there is uh, there is very important point to be noted that you have to use the formal language rather than informal language, because the tone of the entire essay needs to be academic and formal. So we should know before we uh, try to write the academic part of IELTS exam. And common problem is repetition. So avoid repetition, which means do not write the same word or same sentence again on the IELTS writing. It's also applicable for your speaking as well. You'll be able to find that some points have the similarities with the speaking part, like avoid repetition. Then it says embrace punctuation. What it means, guys? It means very often when we write, we do not use punctuation, and even when we use it, we use it for the wrong place. So you need to be careful using punctuation, avoiding repetition. Build your general knowledge. Yep. Complete all your tasks, then practice test. We'll talk tasks to you later. Say you're describing a pie chart or a chart, and 25% of marks is based on grammar and the criteria of grammar. The examiner will check the length of sentence structure, also the accuracy. All right. We're going to describe tasks to you later. Okay. Now, what kind of sentences do you need to write in IELTS writing part? Compound and complex, simple, or declaration? You must be busy. I have invited you. How about you let me know if you're free to join? Okay. Compound sentence. We have to write compound sentences rather than simple affirmative or declarative statements. Example of okay. So if you remember the video that writing does one, it says paraphrase the title in 1 to 3 lines of sentences and write an overview. So after the paraphrasing, we write overview. And how do you write it? In overview, we write the most significant trends. So we paraphrase the title in 1 to 3 lines or sentences, and second part of the introduction is write overview. So what does overview means? The most significant trends. We'll explain it practically in a moment. So paraphrase means in Cambridge Dictionary, to repeat something written or spoken using different words, often in a humorous form or in a simpler and shorter form that makes the original meaning clearer. Okay, so remember, when we paraphrase, we need to understand the meaning of the words so that you can write in a different way, especially in one way. That is your creativity. And it is important to know different kinds of words. We call it lexical resources once again, so which covers your English knowledge, especially words, synonyms or word family, or antonyms, or once again phrasal verbs or phrases. And we don't write idioms in writing, remember that. And after that, overview. What does overview means? What does overview mean? The most significant trends. That means in a bar chart or a graph chart or the process diagram, there will be always a trend. Like if it is a chart or line, it may either go up or down. This process diagram, it will show where, from which direction to which direction process is going through. So that is the most significant trends. Okay. Now, in order to express these significant trends, we have to know the appropriate vocabs once again. Like gradual increase, sudden increase, gradual fall or sudden fall, or significant increase, significant fall, or drastic increase or drastic fall, etc. Choosing a word is important in IELTS writing. And also bear in mind that when you choose a word, we do not choose informal words. Okay. overview. So it could be significant increase or rise, or significant fall or decrease, or gradual increase, gradual rise, gradual fall, gradual decrease, sudden increase, sudden rise, sudden fall, or sudden decrease. Let me see what are the other words you can use. Drastic. Okay, so we've got a sample task to explain it practically. And the third part, the writing, if you remember, and the body, we bring one or two paragraphs, and each paragraph should one thought, the body part. In conclusion is the final uh, part for the writing. You can always add your comment or thoughts or suggestion or indirect advice. So here's the writing task. You should spend about 20 minutes on this task. The graphs below give information uh, about computer ownership as a percentage of the population between 2002 and 2010. I don't know if you can see it or not, because the letters are so tiny, even I can see it clearly. Hello, let's say welcome. So dear viewers, if you've got any questions or comments, you're more than welcome to ask me. I'll be happy to answer it. So there are two graphs. One is just how the trend was changing the computer ownership in 2002 to 2010. So they show 2002, 4, 6, 8, and 10, 5 years. And this chart explains the person with no education, what percent they are using, high school graduates, what percent of computer they're using, college graduate, but they went to the college but didn't complete it. So incomplete college graduate, I should say. Then bachelor's degree holders, then postgraduate degree holders. And both of the cases, as you can see, there is a trend of going up and up and up. So in the introduction, the paraphrase would be, Remember, this is another important matter for us to know that we do not use the first person. We use academic or third person or in passive voice. The past bar chart shows how the users change. Basically, that is the overview I have written. I have to write the introduction. So this charts, okay. The first bar chart shows users tend to grow up from 2002 to 2010. It is quite understandable that it is slow, steady, but is smooth growth. The second paragraph explains what percents of the owner changed during a specific period of time. It was a little increase as well. It was a gradual increase. Then we go to the overview. By the comparison of these two charts, we can find out in the first chart was a slight steady growth, but the second chart shows the lower the education, the less user, but the higher the education, the higher users, with the significant growth. You're welcome, Lassia. Okay, bear in mind that when you're writing, you must make sure in the paraphrase you use synonyms. And the topic was, look at this first topic. The graphs below give information computer ownership. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main feature and make comparison where relevant. So in the first chart, as you can see, it's just simply growing the users number. We can compare the steady growth, so it is growing from the previous year. But this chart has the scope of comparison. The less dedication, the less user. The more dedication, the more users. Okay. So there's the introduction and overview. Now the body part. Okay, so body part. If you remember, in the body part, there is, in this case, we have to write two small paragraphs, because if we are comparing the education versus the number of users, so the paragraph 1 will describe the chart 1, so we'll write in this case. So what does the body part says? Explain 3 or 4 ideas depending on the topic ideas, compare, analyze, follow other information whenever, whatever has been asked. So the chart 1 shown how the grew over the period of time. So we have to go back to the chart 1. Mention the tab. So the users 2010, right? User numbers jumped significant. Significant increase. Okay. Please bear in mind that when you're explaining a chart, you must explain the significant trend. It is not the trend of what you think, it is the trend of what you realize is most common. Right. And the next part would be the chart 2. So in chart 2, you'll write a disclaimer. This is my writing. You may write something else, remember, but whatever you write, it should be related to the topic of the chart. The chart 2 clearly indicated the growth was related to education. So how it was related to the education? Look at the chart. It says no high school diploma and only 40% people were using. High school graduates, it went to 70. Incomplete college graduates, it went to 90. But postgraduate users, it went to 100. So in 2002 to 2010. So in 2002 it was 20, 2010 it was 40, almost double. Likewise 40 in 2010 for high school, and 70. So it is the first 2 year for the education and high school graduates is almost double, but for the other cases it was a steady flow. So in 2002 the user almost double of no education and high school graduates. The you see the chart, not card, actually should be chart. Chart to clearly indicated the growth was related to the education. Okay. Let me see. So in 2002, the users were almost double of no education and high school graduates. To 2020, sorry, 10. But it increased. It increased. With the same space or the same rate. Thus, in the succeeding years. You can see that almost same rate. Years. Where is it? Succeeding years. And it reached 100% users for the postgraduate students in 2010. So we have to go back there. So in 22 it was 80, but it's 100 in 2010. Comparing 2002. See, so now we can see that IELTS exam is time controlled and word controlled exam, so we got to be careful whatever and whatever we write there. So that body we have written. Now the matter is that how many words have you written? Let's count it, guys. Okay. So this part, 95 words. Let me see how many have we written in body part. $79. So 95 and 79 is already 175. Now we have to write conclusion. And many teachers or coaches said that in task 1 and academic, we shouldn't write anything, but my idea would be still you can write it. Okay, because you have the opportunity to add your suggestion or recommendation. So conclusion part should be recommend, suggest, give indirect advice, or share your thoughts about the topic. So don't write too much in this case. Just write like this because it depends on the data. We can only forecast and predict the future growth. And you can write like this here for this topic. Education is a vital factor for the increase users. So you can write disclaimer. To me, so to me is another way to share, in my opinion, to me. Disclaimer, to me, education is a vital factor for the increase of users, but in this case. Okay, so you're giving your opinion. Remember that when you're giving opinion, there are a few ways. We do not write according to me, that is not grammatically correct. In my opinion, to the point of view, or to my best understanding, in my concept, to me, if you ask me, we use these types of formal expressions when you're adding your own thought. So education is a vital factor for the increase of user in this case, which has impacted. Let's try to compound sentence. The growth trend and the market. So I've just written one line because we have already written 165 words. If you remember, we can use 10 to 15% more words. Disclaimer, to me, education is a vital factor for the increase of users in this case, which impacted the growth trend and market of computers. Computer. Okay. Computer ownership. Not only computer, sorry, computer ownership. So you see, these are some a sample writing which I've done for you practically so that you know how to do it. Hello, Kiran Dave, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. So guys, so these are the ways, remember to write an article of the task 1 and it has followed all the criteria. That first criteria is task response, and the second criteria is lexical resources, and third is grammatical range and accuracy. You can see that there is no grammar mistake in these sentences, so you're going to get 100% marks, definitely. And lexical resources sometimes depends on the teacher's perception, because some teacher might think that, oh, the student should write a little bit higher standard word, but still it's fine. And task response is 25% mark. You're going to get the 25% because you've responded to the task. You've fulfilled the grammatical range and accuracy. And also the last part is, what was the last part? I forgot as well now. No, that's the last part. Lexical resource, coherence and cohesion. Sorry, I missed coherence and cohesion. So this writing will bring you the highest mark. Okay, from this sample task. Bear in mind that if you're taking the computer-based test, you have to practice typing more or less frequently. If you're taking the paper-based test, you have to practice writing by hand, especially by the pencil. The reason for using pencil is that um, if you make a mistake while you're writing, you can always amend by the eraser or a rubber. Okay. And if you have got any more questions or any other things to ask, you're more than welcome, dear viewers. Remember that though there wasn't any student today, because I believe that they're busy, and you must be here to practice with me or any other teacher. Bear in mind that when you subscribe to a lesson or course, you should be present on the class so that you learn it practically. Though all my classes are recorded and saved underneath my Hallo account as well as in my YouTube channel, you can watch it from there anytime, or any time of the day, or every time. Okay guys, so we're going to finish this lesson soon. Remember that we use this word always. Practice is a magic word. It's a word that gives you confidence. It's a word that gives you motivation. It's a word that makes your progress. Practice every day. Remember that being a non-native English user or speaker, it is expected that you're not going to get 100% accurate marks or accuracy, but you'll try no stone unturned. You'll try your best. The more you practice, the more you'll be positive minded, and you have to believe that you can do it. If I can do it, because English is my second language, you can do it too. Always focus on your plan. So make a plan and practice every day. Okay guys, and thank you very much once again for watching silently and for coming, some of the people. I'm glad to see you. Remember to support all of our teachers. Remember to follow me so that you can get free classes. Today's Sunday, I'm at home. If I'm free, maybe later I'll be coming for public broadcast. Join me. It will be related to English or grammar, whatever you have got questions. I'm going to try to answer you. All right, guys, and I'd like to thank you once again for being here. Okay, so we've got still 2 more minutes. Let's continue a little bit. Remember that, guys, in order to get good marks in IELTS exam, sit for the mock test. There are many websites from the internet that offer sample test or mock test, and when you sit for the mock test or the sample, you'll be easy. It will be easier for you to understand how the question patterns are, and also you'll be under pressure, like because it is like a simulation of the exam environment. And when we go to exam center, sometimes we feel pressure, we feel nervous. My suggestion would be don't be nervous in exam time. If you become nervous, you are most likely to forget many things and answers as well, because you're creating pressure on your mind. Okay, always be cool, be calm, and try to listen to the listening part, try to read on the reading part, and the writing part, and the speaking part as well. Practice every day. There is no shortcut of practice, no easy method of practice, no quicker method. Practice will make you getting good score. Okay, guys, thank you very much. You take care. I will see you later, and bye.